Hey everybody, as you can see by the name and by the suit, we're going to be making a... wait, that's not me. Hey everybody, welcome back to Spare Time, and today we're going to be making a new series, and that'll be, well not making, I'll be the one making, you'll be the one watching. We'll be making a Batman costume, as you can see from the title. And this one doesn't really look too much like a Batman costume just yet, but it will in the future, we just gotta upgrade it a little bit. So for now I'm going to be showing you how to make the shirt and the pants. Let's get into it before I ramble too much. This costume is inspired by the Man Who Falls comic book, in which the Batman suit is depicted as being several different pieces of the suit, as classic superhero suits are. In order to do that, we're going to need a couple of things. Those things are two different fabrics, obviously one for the cape and one for the main suit, gray and dark blue. And you're also going to need a sewing machine, and you're also going to need an appropriate thread. Needing some measuring tape. Seam ripper is optional, but it does help a lot if you make a mistake. We're needing a ruler for measuring and straight edges, and I do recommend you get one that can curve so you can get circular shapes. We're also going to be needing a pen, a particularly inky one for marking onto fabric, and some particularly sharp scissors. I recommend tailor scissors, but I didn't have any. We're also going to be using a pattern I made in a previous video, to which the link will be in the description. And if you would like to keep the suit just one piece, you can go ahead and do that, but in order to make it separate pieces of the costume, I decided to cut it in appropriate places, such as cutting the pattern in half, then cutting one pattern where the legs are longer, one pattern where the shirt piece will be longer. This is the shirt piece, and all I did was pinned it down to fabric, cut out the fabric, and then folded it over, repeated the process. And when you're cutting, you're going to want to leave about a half an inch to an inch of space away from the pattern, because it is going to shrink up a little bit when you sew it. So there's what the shirt should look like, right there. And we're going to do the same thing for the shirt sleeve piece. And this is the neck piece, and I just decided to use a pen to mark it down on some scrap pieces. And this is the piece we're going to be working with right now. This diagram will show you how the shirt piece goes together. A meets A, B meets B, C meets C, and D meets D. And just want to take your time sewing it and go really slow. This is the sleeve, and I sewed it together. It's really obvious how the sleeve goes together, so I don't think I need to show that. But now I'm going to show how the sleeve connects to the shirt, which is kind of tricky. Basically, the sleeve has to stay right side in while the shirt is inside out. So you kind of just put it through the sleeve through the sleeve hole while the shirt is inside out. And then you put it together and put it right side in to make sure that you've got everything correct before you actually take it to the sewing machine. And right here is a close-up of everything of the sleeve pinned to the sleeve hole. And when you're sewing it, you just want to go really slow, making sure that you don't close up the sleeve hole, because that really sucks. And yeah, if you take your time with it, it will come out perfect. No guarantee though. This is the neck piece, and this is how it's connected to the shirt. Basically, if you just sew up the neck piece together and find where it fits, you can just match up the seams to each other. We're going to be moving on to the pants now, and basically just take the leg pattern and cut it into two, and we're going to be making 4 pieces of this pattern. You pin it down to the fabric like we did with the rest of the pieces and cut them out. You're making 2 of the left and 2 of the right pieces of the pattern, and you're going to be pinning together how they're laid down like that. The inseam together, how they're connected to the sides and the back. And you're going to want to sew up this part first. That's the front part of the inseam. And then you're going to want to sew up the sides of the edges, like the outsides, what I mean. And then you're going to want to fold it and pin it together, making sure that you close up the pants, but at the same time you're not closing off the leg hole so you can't wear them anymore. And I took some elastic and put it around my waist, stretching it a little bit, and then I pinned it to the pants, and this is going to serve as the elastic band so the pants don't fall down. I first stretched it out, then pinned it together so I can have that tension on there. So once it was pinned, I folded the fabric on itself to make a kind of band, like that. And you're going to want to sew just at the fabric where the fabric meets the fabric, but not the elastic itself, because it might break the sewing machine and it might not allow the elastic to move. And before you sew this piece together, you're going to want to sew up both ends of the elastic together so they don't get loose on you. And after that, we should be finished with the suit. This is what it looks like. So, that's the Batman. Oh, there you are. So, this is the Batman suit. So far we just got, like I said, shirt and pants. This is going to be a progression of a video series. Pretty much we're going to be making this suit, and then once we're done with that, we're going to be making different things like better boots, shin guards, gauntlets, things like that, all that nature. And then probably rubber, latex, whatever kind of cowls I can make in the future. But it's going to be over the course of however long. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of the new background, the new suit, and subscribe if you're new, check out my other videos if you can, and I guess I'll see you guys later.